I'm filled with joy, man. I'm filled with joy. How everybody feeling? Finally, finally, we get a chance to spend some time with me. For real, man. It's been a long time coming. Feel like, but behind the scenes, I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been really just getting some things together for the year. We got some very, very, very exciting themes coming up for this year for Supreme Wellbeing. Jen, what's up? What up? What up, Jen? I got you on the way. I got something special for you too. I got something special for you in your package. You're gonna like it a lot. I don't want to tell you it's a surprise. It's a surprise, man. That's how I rock with the people. People that rock with me, people that support Supreme Wellbeing. I'm telling y'all, man, they always getting free stuff. They'll tell you. They tell you but you got to be invested. Not just in Supreme Wellbeing, but into yourself. Once I see that you investing in yourself, I can't help but to pour into you. I can't help but to pour into you, for real. For real. But so this is the month of Ramadan. This is the month of Ramadan. A lot of Muslims across the world will be fasting. The beautiful thing about Ramadan is anybody can participate. You do not have to be Muslim to participate in Ramadan. And Ramadan has a lot of benefits. It's the month of peace, the month of revealment. So Ramadan comes from a history of the Quran being revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. So now I'm getting away from religion and more spiritual because, I'm going more within rather than looking for power outside of myself. You know what I'm saying? I still participate in Ramadan. It's just a wondrous gift, y'all. It's just a wondrous gift. It really is a wondrous gift. Ramadan is such a gift to mankind. So with it being the month of revealing, because the Quran came to the Prophet Muhammad during this month of Ramadan, that's what Ramadan is about, is when the Quran was given to the Prophet Muhammad. It was revealed to him. So during this time, we fast fast between the daytime hours. So from before the sun rises, you eat. And during the sun hours, during the daylight hours, you don't eat or drink. When the sun sets, sundown, you break your fast by eating and drinking. Okay, so within that time, your body is going to be going through a lot of things. You have to make sure that you eat and drink early in the morning before the sun comes up. That's very important because the fast will not be beneficial if you do not, especially if you're just going into this cold turkey. 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. to sundown. You have time to from 6 a.m. to sundown. So you want to eat before 6 a.m. and pray. And during that time, that's the biggest thing is to eat and drink in the morning. You have to eat and drink in the morning. If you do not eat and drink in the morning, it's not going to be beneficial for you. And please believe Ramadan is a gift to you, not to the higher power. This is a gift for us. You know what I'm saying? But I always get gifts and all different type of realizations during Ramadan, because it's such a spiritual time, and the fasting, what goes into fasting, and it's such an intense fast. It's very intimidating to those who are not used to fasting and never done it before. Once you've done it before, it's really not. It's not that bad at all. It's actually very, very, very serene. It's very tranquil. It humbles you. It teaches you how to overcome. It teaches you a lot about yourself, and that's what I want to talk about. Just revealment. Like the revealing is symbolic to how it's gonna be revealing things about you that you never even knew about your own self. So the revealment of it, the revealing comes from, man, you're gonna learn that when you sustain from the daily pleasures of life is when you really find out who you are, how strong you are, and how much you can really sustain off the eternal part of you, which is the most connected to God, to the source, to the Almighty, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Fasting brings out ways to overcome obstacles in life, hardships. It brings out the easing of the ego. You know what I'm saying? It humbles you down to be able to understand yourself on a spiritual level. It increases your willpower, your cognitive functions. Right now, I had a bottle of water this morning. I feel fulfilled. I feel full. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk to the students today at NCCU. Had a good wellness discussion. They were filled with all type of just dope thought patterns and ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still high off of that energy. But going into the revealment, the month of revealment and revelation, self-evolution, I remember a time when I was writing. So when I was writing my novel, so I got a novella called In the Sand, man. It's on my website, www.mysupremewellbeing.com. It's about a Haitian soldier. It's about a soldier in the Haitian Revolution. His name is Abram. But when I was writing this novel, it was revealed to me. It was like I was in a subconscious mind trance, because it was revealed to me by way of me, like, just being a vessel. It was kind of like ancestral veneration. Something was speaking through me, and I was writing it down. It was not like it was revelation. It was revelation. Reason how I knew I had to come to an understanding of this is because I did not have a blueprint for my book. I did not have a blueprint for this book. It just came. It just flowed. The characters flowed. The scenery, the vivid pictures that I paint inside of my novella. The process was just a whole theta mind autotelic flow. What a theta mind, that's like when you're in your creative phase. Like theta mind is kind of like when you first wake up in the morning and you in between like you're consciously awake. You're in between your subconscious and your conscious. It's like when we say we're half sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was like half asleep when I wrote my book, when I wrote my novella, man. And it's a cinematic roller coaster. So all these ideas and characters and events was coming to me, and it's based off true historical events. It's about the Haitian Revolution, so it has some true historical events in it that really happened. So I kind of take you there through characters that I created within my own creative imagination. So I just trusted my creative intuition by writing this book. But the interesting thing about it is it was a whole revealment. It was a whole revealment of creativity that was not planned out. It was a flow. Like I said, I did not have a blueprint for this book. I came into a realization of this today while I was talking to the students at NCCU today. And I started really understanding what flow really is, what autotelic flow really, and really being in a rhythm to where you cannot be stopped. And you're actually being used by the eternal part of you. The eternal part of you is connecting to the super consciousness of what we call God, but we like to put a mental image on God and put limitations on God. And when you put limitations on God, you're putting limitations on yourself. So to go outside, so when you surrender and allow yourself to be a vessel for that which is much bigger and a larger cause than yourself, that's when the supernaturalism starts happening. That's when things start happening that you can't really explain, which is why I can't explain why I did not have a blueprint for my book, for my novel. Now, this is my other a step-by-step guide to improving self-discipline was another experience. That was a whole different experience. I had a blueprint. I had an intention when writing this book right here. This was very intentional, which it flowed too, but it was a different type of flow. And I tapped into that autotelic flow within this book, but I did have like an outline. This was a different experience. And My novel was a different experience, and I'm starting to understand now my writing process, because without me having a blueprint and being revealed, this being revealed to me, this was a revelation. As it was being revealed to me, characters were being built. I don't know where these characters came from. Scenery was being built. I don't know where these scenes came from, other than outside of what I was reading historically. I got a book called The Invisible War, very incredible book. It breaks down a lot of the Haitian Revolution, a lot of the connection between the American Gullah history and the Haitian Revolution history and the hidden history. It gives you a lot of esoteric knowledge, a hidden knowledge of what they did not teach us in school. Being that, like, but it all goes back to self-evolution and self-revolution within yourself. Why? Because I feel as though when they don't teach us, they teach us, for instance, let me give you an example. They teach us that we ran north for freedom. So it was true for what Kanye said. It was that we ran north just to work for other industrial white people. He was right. Because the truth is, what they didn't teach us in school is we really ran south for independence. We ran north for freedom, but we ran south for independence, for ownership, for our own lands and towns, for our own jurisdiction, for our own agriculture, for our own power. This is what they don't teach us in school. They don't teach us about the Gullah Geechee. They don't teach us about the Haitian Revolution. They don't teach us why the Louisiana Purchase even happened. It happened because of the pressure that Haiti was putting on the French to sell Spain. Yeah, to sell Louisiana. They were exhausting their resources. That was by way of the Haitians putting that work in, and 3 European superpowers, the British, the French, and Spain, all at the same time. So when I was this right here was a whole different experience of revealment. This was revealed. I had no outline for this book. And what I noticed is when I'm writing now, I don't need to stop. It's a process to where I can't stop. I need to continue to write when I'm in that flow, because it's like a connection. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you making the connection. So you can't break the connection by stopping. This is what I'm learning about writing. It came to me while I was talking to the students today, and how we was flowing together, and the connection we was making, and what we were saying, and the ideas we was bouncing off each other, all on top of me fasting. I'm fasting along with a lot of other people right now. So the energy that's around, that you're capturing while you're fasting, you're refraining, practicing self-discipline while going out your daily life. It shows you can get anything that you desire when you put this type of with self-discipline. You can overcome anything, any obstacle. Nothing can really be against you. Only you can be against you. But so what I was going to say about the revealment, when I was going through this process of writing my novel, I didn't really fully understand what was happening until now. And this is what I'm talking to y'all. That's why I'm talking to y'all about doing whatever it is that you find is necessary for yourself to find out things about yourself that you never knew, so you can go to the next level in life. But you got to be willing to do whatever it needs to be done to do it. If you're not willing to do whatever needs to be done to do it, then you might as well prepare yourself to do whatever is necessary to get it done to do it. I've been wanting to get on here and do my media and talk to you more often, but I've been having to do other things, technical things with my business behind the scenes in order to keep it going. So in order for me to get back on here to create my media, to create the dialogue, to be on here and to create content, I had to give myself some grace, fall back, and get back to my product development, the technicalities of my business taxes, all these things that goes into being an entrepreneur. I had to do that. But what I had to refrain from what I really wanted to do, which was mastering the art of communication. I had to use it in a different way. It might not have been the way that I wanted to do it, but it was the way that I needed to do it, to do what was necessary to continue on the journey that I know that is bigger than myself, on a larger cause than a purpose that is larger than myself. And sometimes this is what we need to do. And fasting is how you strengthen that willpower within needing to do what it is that you need to do to get to the next level in life. This is what we talk about when they say, oh, I had a shift or a paradigm shift being a pattern shift. I like to come into it as a quantum leap or a quantum shift. Quantum shifting is more of like you coming into a life that you're creating rather by just living it. You start learning how to actually create your life and not just live your life. So when you quantum shift, you open up the endless possibilities within your life, because you know the conscious decisions that you're making within your life, step by step, the conscious decision that you're making step by step, choice by choice, relationship by relationship, is going to determine the reality in the present now going into the new future. When you start understanding that, because the conscious decisions that I made in my past were bad decisions that I paid for years by karmic law. This is universal law, becoming a universal lawyer, understanding what it is that you're paying for. So you're paying yourself back from what you gave to yourself. If you are giving yourself bad decisions, if you were giving yourself inner hate, if you were giving yourself inner bad dialogue, negative self-talk, if you were giving yourself what I like to call it, being stuck in a bubble of the same patterns and environments and people, if you were giving yourself the same relationships, the same toxic relationships, the same traumatic experiences, if you were giving yourself that, if that's the conscious decision that you were, because you really feel like deep down that's all what you deserve. So that's what you were giving yourself. So when you're giving yourself that means that you're making a conscious decision to practice self-hate. That's going to follow you for years, because your behaviors is going to mirror what you're saying to yourself on the inside. So that's what's going to manifest in your life. Once I start understanding how to quantum shift and understanding that my conscious decisions, the decisions that I make today, in the now, right now, the decisions that I make right now in the everlasting now is all that matters. So let's make it count. How do I make it count? I start treating myself better, investing into myself in a positive way. And I stop hurting the ones that I love. I got tired of hurting the ones that love me the most. So basically I was sick of my own shit. That's when the shift happened for me. And I was willing to do whatever to get out of it. But the mystical thing about when you make a decision like that, it's probably one of the best decisions that you could ever make in your life. Why? It's mystical because it's so brave. You're brave enough to say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to not only change my life, but to change my kids' life, to change their kids' life, and to change and impact anybody's life who comes in contact with mine. So whatever that takes, I'm willing to do it. Whatever emotion I have to go through, I'm willing to go through it. It doesn't matter. You're literally looking in the eyes of the unpredictable, the unknown, and saying, what's next? And you become fearless in your fears. I talk about that in my book. It's a liberating feeling, but it's not for the it's not for the it's not for the scarcity mindset. It's not for the self-limiting. It's for the most courageous. It's for the brave-hearted. You know what I'm saying? And things like this start happening to you. You start getting revelations to where you don't even have outlines for books. It's just coming. It's just flowing out of you. And if you don't get it out of you, you're going to go crazy. Because it ain't about you. It's about it impacting somebody else that you never met. So you can do huge things in a small way. It don't always got to be all glamorous and filled with imagery all the time that you see on the TV, man. It could be just about uplifting humanity and impacting somebody that's going to become the next leader that we need for us to become better people. You just never know. But only the ones who see the true, purposeful, and meaningful definite chief aim of life through going through the inner workings of self and understanding the true definition of what we call God. Because what we call God is not nothing that we can ever fathom of what God really is. The closer that we get to the eternal parts of ourselves, the closer that we get to the priceless assets in life, is the closer that we get to what really matters outside of what we see in this physical manifestation. And I know I'm getting deep on this spiritual talk right now, but to be honest, if you ever take some time to think about the things that go on around you that you can't see, the things that you don't even know that's happening, that you're not even always conscious of, like your eyes blinking or your heart beating in your chest or your blood flowing at what velocity? This is a quantum mystery. Like, what velocity is your blood flowing through your veins and your arteries? This is what I'm saying, man. So give thanks. Give yourself grace. Get yourself grace. Give thanks to the Almighty Source. Get in contact with that God within. Because I'm telling you, it's a ride. It's a ride, yo. It's a ride that will take you on places that you probably could imagine if you tried. But it's going to open up your imagination to where you will be able to imagine it. And God is imagination. Infinite imagination. Yo, peace and wellness to the family, yo. It was good to spend some time with y'all, yo. I'm going to be getting back on here. I just had to take care of some things. You know how it is, people. I just want to say salute everybody that's been rocking with Supreme Wellbeing, man, and supporting. Make sure you go to www.mysupremewellbeing.com, okay? You can just Google Supreme Wellbeing. We got a lot of good things coming up. And don't forget, I have an exclusive CMOS Challenge Healing Group. If you are interested in joining my exclusive group where you get discounts, you get access to products before they come out, you get access to products that might not never come out. You get first access to things that I launch. Make sure that you get inside the Supreme Wellbeing exclusive content too that I don't release in the Supreme Wellbeing Facebook group chat, yo. Peace and wellness to the family. Talk to y'all soon.